Lesson 32. The longing of the soul is to know love. Beloved and holy friends, we come forth to speak yet again of the essence of all that you seek and all that you are. With great devotion, with unceasing praise, we share with you that which alone can set God's child free, that which alone enlightens the mind, purifies the heart, and brings about the serenity of the soul. What then could such a subject be? What theme could all of these words point to? Indeed, what does the morning sunrise point to? What does the sound of a child's laughter point to? Beloved friends, what does the very breath you breathe point to? What do all things of creation point to? For I have said unto you before, there is nothing you can create that does not express your longing to awaken. Therefore all doing of the body-mind is but the attempt of the soul to break free of all limitation, and to once again rest or recline in that perfect peace which is the certain knowledge that only love is real. The yogi in his cave but expresses the longing of that one soul to recline in God. The lovers entwined express only the longing of the soul to taste, to touch the reality of love. And love is but God, for God is but love. All things, then, reflect you through the sensory apparatus of the body-mind, the longing of all creation to know, with perfect certainty, the living presence of the one whom I have called Abba. In the way of knowing, it must come to pass that the mind is converted from fear to love, from doubt to perfect faith. Perfect faith is not the beginning, intermediate stage in which one is choosing to have faith in things unseen, in the hope that they might materialize, for perfect faith casts out all fear. Faith, when purified, when matured, when totally realized, is the same as complete forgiveness, the return to peace, and the knowledge that only love is real. Love, beloved friends, is the essence of all that you are. Love is the essence of all that dances as a temporary reflection before the eyes of your very body-mind. There is no one, nothing, you can look upon whose essence is not love. There is nothing you can experience whose essence is not love. The only question then is, are you willing to make the journey from fear to love, as you look upon anything, as you experience any emotion? For there can be nothing that obstructs from you the light and presence of your Creator. To perceive the real world of love is to know with perfect certainty that you and your Father are one. When you remember only your loving thoughts, love is all that you will see. To remember your loving thoughts does not mean that as you look upon the past, you decide to ignore those thoughts that were less than loving. It means that, in truth, you never do look at the past. Rest assured, if you are having a memory now, you are having a very present experience. It is absolutely impossible to think about the past, for thinking occurs now. You will look upon the past as you choose to be in the present. If you are still carrying the effects of less than loving reactions and the perceptions you have made from them, you will continue to see the past as you always have. Yet as you look upon the past, if you will choose to be the presence of love first, wanting only to see with the eyes of Christ, there will not be one moment you have ever experienced as a soul that is not immediately translated into perfect harmlessness, into the perfect realization that only a dream has occurred. For love looks upon all things and sees that there is no substance to them, except the love out of which those involved in that situation were longing to find a way to know the reality of themselves. Listen carefully here. There is nothing you can experience that is anything but the soul's longing to be the perfection of what it is, love. Everything, your tall skyscrapers, your busy freeways, your armies, is an expression of the longing of the soul, that spark of divinity that rests in all created things to know love. Has it become distorted? Oh yes. To think that one can awaken to love, to know love, and to have love by building weapons of destruction must be wholly insane. But the longing from which it arises is absolutely no different than the pacifist who would place a flower in the barrel of a rifle. It is no different than the mother who picks up and suckles her newborn son. The longing is one and the same. This is why I have often said to you that what is not love is fear and nothing else. Fear is merely the contraction that occurred in the soul that has lost temporarily the sanity of knowing that it need not seek for love. It need only open and be love. For the attempt to seek love only reveals that sanity is not ruling the domain and the dominion of your heart and soul and mind. Any attempt to get is insane. Likewise, any attempt to refrain from receiving or giving is also insane. Getting and receiving are not the same. Getting and receiving are not the same. Giving to get is not true giving. Giving and receiving are one. For in either case, the heart must open, the defenses must be laid aside, and the soul becomes wholly vulnerable. Yet in a perfect paradox of the spiritual journey, when vulnerability is fully allowed through mastery of the keys to the kingdom, desire, intention, allowance, and surrender, when this indeed is accomplished, love is known. For in perfect vulnerability, the soul remembers its perfect invulnerability. The world can do nothing to the one who only loves. Oh, indeed, beloved friends, the beauty of every flower, the song of every bird that sings, these things are given to you, the holy child of God. The sparkling waters, the vast expanse of the desert, these things are given to you. There is no creation that has within it the capacity that you as a human being possesses. Not even your whales and dolphins can truly experience and realize the presence and the mystery of the Creator. They flow in perfect innocence and creativity, in the Creator's love, but their capacity to reflect, to know, and to embody consciously that which love is not the same. And those that would perceive that seeking out a whale, a dolphin, a wolf, or a bear, or a crow, or what have you, will add something to their own nature, are yet caught up in projecting onto another form of creation that which must be embraced in and for oneself. For the body is the temple of the living Spirit, when it is seen through the eyes that have awakened. Where you are is where heaven is fully available. That which you are is the love of God made manifest. And when you remember only your loving thought, that means that in the very present moment, you are remembering. You are bringing the facets of yourself back into the wholeness of realization that only love is real. For example, yes, my dog just died. Yes, my husband just left me. These are just the external forms bouncing about in the field of change. But the essence has not left me, for I am free to love. I am free to make the energetic transition from one set of circumstance into the present moment. I am free in each moment not to abide in fear, not to abide in that great fear that I can't possibly survive because my teddy bear has been stolen. And what are husbands, mates, careers, cars, and money in the bank, if not the attempt of the little child within you to have and hold onto the teddy bear, that you think can comfort you? Yet the Christ within you can love. In each moment that you seem to be confronted with a challenge that brings up within you your deepest fears of security, your deepest fears of managing the estate, the domain that you call your life, these things come not by accident, and they must come without ceasing in a world of unceasing change. For all that you look upon and say that you love, that you perceive as a temporary form of creation, is already dying and dead to you. There can be no peace in the world, but you can be the embodiment of peace when you look beyond all form and perceive the essence of all things as the longing for love, the longing to remember. When your spouse leaves you, no matter what they say, they are leaving you because they long for love. Does this mean that you have failed them? Absolutely not, for that would mean that they are a victim of you. But you have heard me say to you many times, there is no cause save that which arises within the field of the sovereignty of each soul. Love is always present, and there is no reason for staying or going. There is only reason to awaken to the voice for love and allow it to move you. So in the world, peace cannot be found, for in the world there is only the deep belief that love is absent and must be sought, pursued, and gotten, extracted from the forms of creation, whether it be a career, flower, ocean, desert, lover, mate, or money. The forms of the world contain no reality. By that I mean that when you look at someone or something, and the energy of wanting to possess or extract wounds you, you are already in insanity. Insanity is wholly illusory, which means any attempt to live from that energy can only fail. Yet at the very same moment, the world awaits you in perfect transparency. Nothing can obstruct you. In the busiest of your malls, in the most horrendous traffic jam, there is nothing that is preventing you from choosing to remember only your loving thoughts. There is nothing preventing you from choosing to look upon a brother or sister and to see their perfect innocence, to see their unchanging essence, while allowing them complete freedom to journey as they must, until they elect to remember the essence within themselves, until they have chosen to learn to be the stillness of God's presence. Stillness is not opposed to activity or movement. Rather, it pervades the very body-mind. There is a quality of stillness in the awakened that is ever attractive. Yet the awakened are ceaselessly involved. Why? Because they no longer resist the flow of this dream world, including the body-mind. They have reversed the thought structure of the world within themselves. The body-mind is no longer compelled by fear. Unobstructed, it serves but one purpose, the extension of love. Can you extend love by restraining the energy of the body? No. Can you extend love by holding on to rigid thoughts and beliefs about how relationships should be? No. The only way, then, to remember love, the only way to rest in the certainty of the way of knowing, is to come to the realization that what is not love is fear, and only fear. In any moment of experience, regardless of what is occurring, where love is not present within you as a known commodity, you are in fear. We do not speak here of a motion or a wave of energy that might be passing through the body when you walk around the corner of a hiking trail to behold a very angry mother grizzly bear who will protect her cubs by having you for breakfast. Those are just emotions passing through the body-mind, part of the system that would help you to flee or to stay. Do not make the mistake of perceiving that as fear. It is just a biochemical electrical impulse programmed into the body-mind, for even the wise and the enlightened will pay attention to that. Yet the wise and enlightened will look quickly and possibly say, "Perhaps this is my time. Go ahead, bear, eat me. Go ahead, crucify me." Or perhaps the very same enlightened one will say, "Take me from the city. The crowds are too great. We must flee across the lake, for they would press upon me and eat me if they can. It is not time. This is not the place." Peace, then, is not passivity. Peace, the very state of love, is a state in which no experience is obstructed within you. Do not make the mistake, as so many do, of thinking that experience has something to do with what is outside of the very body-mind. For remember, nothing is caused by a single event occurring beyond the boundary of the body-mind. If two human beings come together, they may not know why, but for some reason their heart is open. They are walking around with a neon sign that said, "I just want to love and be loved." That is the only reality. I am a little tired of putting up a wall of resistance. They walk around the corner and, oh my goodness, the sparks fly. They say, "Oh, love, this is it. It's the real thing. Oh my God, how could this be? Oh, this must be a gift from God." Nonsense. It is a gift from yourself. You are the one who chose in the depth of your being to finally become sane enough to allow the context for the experience of love sharing to be called to you. And guess what? It is occurring in your lover for the very same reason. Two souls have sent out the call and have come together in a field of space-time within the body-mind for a moment, in which each has said yes to the possibility of remembering the purity of love. Love does not condemn, and love does not judge. What is not love is fear, and nothing else. Therefore, remember always that no act of love should ever be judged, for each act of love is to be cherished. Each moment of love's presence and reality is to be cherished. Each moment in which a soul, 2 souls, 3 souls, 10 souls, a country of souls, a universe of souls, it does not matter, makes the choice to drop the defense, to open and gesture as the presence of love, that act is to be cherished, for it is rare in the world. Those that would seek to possess a mate, to create an exclusivity, are truly only expressing some subtle level of fear. Love denies not to anyone the perfect freedom that is sovereignty and right of every soul. For you cannot know love until you have set all beings free. You cannot know your Creator until you love as your Creator loves. And there is no one who is reading these words that does not long to know love completely, to come home again. Coming home to love. To come home means to know love, and to know love means that you can no longer tell where you end and the Creator begins. Such a one merely loves. Such a one rests in the perfect certainty of love so deeply that the thought of restricting another's freedom cannot arise. Why would it? If your cup is truly overflowing, would you require another to place their half-filled glass before you, demanding that you need to possess their glass? Love allows all things. Love embraces all things. Love trusts all things and thereby immediately transcends all things. If you would know love, spend the next 30 days in which each day without fail, remember it is wise to use time constructively. You spend some time with yourself on a piece of paper and pencil, and truly look back over your past honestly. Where did you refuse to give total freedom to the ever-changing expression of creation? Have you ever judged a politician? In that very moment you were refusing to extend perfect freedom, for judgment flows from fear and not from love. Were you ever in a relationship in which some part of you felt at least a little urge to try to convince the other that they did not really love that person they met in the supermarket? They really loved just you. Have you ever, even politely for a moment, insinuated to another that their passion for anyone but you might be some sort of biological abnormality, or certainly that they are being insane and need to sit down and do some serious thinking? All of that is fear, nothing else. For love is satiated in its own being. Love overflows. The thought of possessing, controlling, or limiting can come only from one who feels emptiness. Love sets all things free. Love sets the world free to be as the world is. Love sees perfect harmlessness. Love sees it because things are as they are as they are. Think well about that statement, because things are as they are. The mind in perfect freedom lets them be as they are, and sees them as utterly harmless. Love sees it the world that is shown to you through the body-mind, this world of building, automobile, pollution, pristine beaches, desert expanses, towering trees, lakes, pond, this world of torment in the mother whose child has just died, this world of torment in the heart of the child who has just buried their parents, this world of peace, this world that contains all possible expressions of consciousness, this world is perfectly harmless. This world that you experience in this now moment cannot add anything to you, and it can take nothing away. In this now moment, where are you? Are you in love this moment? Did you just lose your job, and you think the problem that is disturbing your peace is that you have no job? This is not it. What is disturbing your peace is that the loss of the job has flushed up for you your deep identity with and as the body. You think the body must survive and continue, and perhaps you say, darn it, it has to do in the same level of material comfort that I knew yesterday. Can you understand that when your love is so complete, it no longer matters if the body-mind exists tomorrow? For where would you go? You are but the field of love itself. Your essence is unchanging forever. You are pure spirit. If you just lost your job, sit down and breathe and open the heart and decide to love your employer until the death of your illusion. Then open and receive all that is around you, the singing of the bird, the first rays of the new day's dawn, the grass beneath your feet. Receive the field of infinite possibilities that has been thrown wide open for you. For that which passes away in your experience cannot do so by accident. It can only be occurring through the complicity or the agreement of the world around you with the soul within you. Nothing arises by accident. And if you come home to discover that your child has died sleeping in her crib, feel indeed your feelings with great curiosity, such as, oh, this is how the human being feels when they perceive that loss has occurred. I will bring love to this moment and feel this as deeply as I can because I want to embrace it with reality. Then look with gentleness upon the teeny form of lifelessness, and know that the soul who animated it for a brief moment has gone nowhere, except into the furtherance of their destiny and yours, always by perfect agreement. Not the kind of an agreement in which a child says, yes, Mom, yes, Dad, whatever you say, but the agreement of the perfect sovereignty of two unlimited souls. You have heard me say before that the spiritual path cannot begin until the mind accepts complete responsibility for the entire field of its experience. This must include the coming and going of all beings. You will realize, I called them in. I called to them and asked them to leave now. I wonder why I did that. Oh God, here's this feeling again. I'm all alone. I've been abandoned. That's why they had to leave me. For I must heal this ridiculous belief that I have been abandoned. I must overcome all separation. I must awaken beyond the dream of the dreamer. Nothing you create can arise by accident, and everything you experience calls you to the field of unchanging and perfect love that transcends, supersedes, and underlies all that arises and passes away. The decision to teach only love. Love is the most critical of themes, beloved friends. The way of knowing must be the completion of the decision to teach only love. And the only way to teach love is to be love under all circumstance. This does not mean that you paint a plastic smile on your face and never feel any emotion. That is not enlightenment. That is the height of the ego's attempt to usurp power from God. The spiritual ego, the spiritual personality, is the last egg to be cracked. One is only awakened when one allows all things, trusts all things, and embraces all things, which is the same as feels all things. For in that very moment, the very thing arising is transcended, because it is not obstructed or resisted. And what is not obstructed or resisted is embraced and consumed in the spaciousness of love. You have within yourself, then, all power under heaven and earth to translate the body itself from a contraction of fear to a spaciousness that reflects the reality of God's love. For the very body-mind that emerged first from fear can be reopened, so that the energy of truth flows through it, so that nothing arising in your experience in the emotional field obstructs the remembrance of love. Quite frankly, the emotional field is the only place you can experience anything. All the rest are merely thoughts about things. The gap between a thought about things and the feeling nature of experiencing things is exactly the same gap that exists between illusion and heaven. It is for this reason that no idea of God is the same as God. No concept about love is the same as love. No philosophy about enlightenment is the same as enlightenment. Unobstructed feeling embraces all that arises and passes away. Unobstructed means without judgment. Even that which arises as fear or anger should never be judged or obstructed. That which arises as sadness or joy, that which arises as the passion of the body, all things must be opened to and embraced, or the beingness of your soul has not yet transcended the world. Love is the ability to be wholly present with what is, devouring it like a child devours candy. Give me another bite, for this dream cannot contain me, therefore bring it on. Exercises to awaken in love. Beloved friends, if you would truly use this teaching of the way of knowing as the time in which you awaken into the decision to be the presence of love and nothing else, so that you can move into the rest of your experience as the enlightened Christ that you already are, look well in each of the next 30 days. Where in my life have I refrained from love? Where have I chosen behavioral patterns and decisions and choices with a smile on my face, while all the time attempting to control and manipulate the world in order to keep me safe from feeling and facing my own insecurity? Where have I demanded that the world show up in a certain way, so that I can pretend to have peace and pretend to be happy and loving? Anyone can be happy and loving in a candy store. Anyone can be happy standing in front of a crowd when everyone is applauding you. Everyone can be happy being held by 20 friends who say they love you, but only the enlightened can be happy when these 20 friends have chosen to crucify you. Therefore, indeed, it is in your darkest moments, it is in the crumbling of the structures you have made, where you are best given the opportunity to realize the great power within you to teach only love. Yes, the ego would convince you that to know love you must set up your world so that you never experience the challenges and the insecurity of abandonment, aloneness, and not knowingness, the kind of insecurity one might feel when they know not where their next meal comes from. The attempt to create material security flows only from the egoic mind, for the enlightened mind is in complete abundance always. When I walked this world as a man and was taught by the Essenes, I and my brothers and sisters learned to practice a way of life that was also known in other cultures in ancient India. A conscious decision was made to give up all materiality and to walk, literally, naked in the world, owning nothing, possessing nothing, facing the stark reality of the body's perfect vulnerability, relying on the expression of grace and love through the others. We would walk around with a begging bowl and simply say, "The body-mind is hungry. Would you be so kind as to fill my bowl?" and receive the yes or no with the very same appreciation. Many of you have no idea what it means to be hungry. You think hunger is that temporary gnawing that occurs because you have not gone to your refrigerator in the last few hours. Go and abide in the forest with nothing to eat. Take nothing with you but perhaps some water, and abide alone, open to the elements for 3 days and 3 nights. Then you will know something of what it means to be an Essene, to be one who goes without any attempt to protect the body-mind from the deepest fears of its own demise. Once a rich man came unto me and asked me to teach him, and I simply replied, "Go and sell all that you have and follow me." He did not want God that much. Of course, as I said to you many times, it does not mean you must go and give away your material wealth that you have in the world. It does mean you must give away your attachment to it. You must see that it is merely an illusion, which cannot provide you the safety that you truly seek, for safety can come only in the reclining in the heart of God. The body-mind is not even mine. The mate is not mine. The career is not mine. The bank accounts are not mine. These things of the world cannot keep my soul safe. They cannot awaken me. Only my decision to surrender the world, to transcend the world, to abide as empty in the world. Only my decision to teach only love can awaken me to the invulnerability beyond the vulnerability of all created things. Even this very body-mind that I once mistakenly identified with as myself. The truly awakened come and go as the wind. You know not from whence they have come, and you know not where they are going, for they do not even know these things. How can you? But they listen to the voice of the Spirit, and Spirit is like the whisper of the wind and says, "Come, go, touch, speak, refrain, leave, abstain, embrace, eat, fast, pray, dance." The one who abides in unobstructed feeling nature flows with that which comes from the depth of a perfectly still heart and mind, and dances while knowing stillness. For the body-mind that others see is no longer inhabited by the contraction of the ego. The enlightened cannot be understood. They can only be appreciated by the enlightened. Who, then, will you choose to be this day, beloved friend, one who walks in the ordinary world or one who walks in heaven, side by side with the Creator? Will you walk this day in the world as one who has everything figured out, or will you walk as one who in perfect innocence merely loves, laughs, and chuckles within at the great illusion of the drama of this world? For this world arises and passes away in the twinkling of an eye. It is merely like dots on a screen that have created a temporary movie. Once the movie plays out, the screen remains as it always has been, until the next movie comes to town. Your consciousness is like that screen. It witnesses that which arises and passes away, even within the body-mind itself. Identify with that pure screen, the pure witness, the spaciousness that is wider than all universes. Notice that part of you that is simply aware of what is arising, a feeling, a thought, a word, a song heard, a car crash witnessed. It does not matter. Anything arising in the field of your experience arises in the field of the spaciousness of awareness that is God's gift to you as your very existence. For pure spirit is awareness itself, and that awareness can be fueled by the decision for love or the belief in fear. Beloved friends, if you have truly chosen to enact the way of knowing, do not waste time. Look well over the next 30 days. Look deeply at the truth of what has been running you. What are the patterns that created the choices, the reaction, the responses, the rationalization, the great words, the great seeking, the great striving, all of it? Look well and perceive and know that which is birthed from fear, no matter what it looked like, for indeed the wolf can come in sheep's clothing. Where have you been a ravenous wolf coming in sheep's clothing with false smiles in order to get another to give you what you believe you lack? Where have you refrained from love? Where have you refused to become perfectly vulnerable? For it is only on the other side of that decision that your perfect invulnerability arises. You are love and nothing else. At any moment that you behave, speak, or perceive yourself to be other than love, you have used the power of your awareness to decide for you what would attempt to stand against the kingdom of God, and you are the one that has suffered for it. Love, beloved friends, so many of you that have read my words look upon me with such great love. You look upon me and say, "Oh, Jeshua, he just loves so perfectly." Well, of course I do, because I have come to see that there is nothing else worth doing. I know that sounds almost simplified, but the truth is simple. You must come in your own Christed nature to see that in perfect innocence there is not anything else to do but love. To love without limits, to love without fear, to love by extending perfect freedom to all of creation to be, and do what it wants to be and do. Then and only then can you know that nothing can betray you, nothing can hurt you, and nothing can bring anything to you or take anything away. You have the infinite and perfect freedom to love, and in that decision you know your Creator and can say quite simply with me, "Behold, I and my Father are one and the same. Now let me give you a hug. Now let me set you free to have your experience. Now let me watch this great movie. Now let me enjoy my salad." It is all so very simple. Never identify yourself with your doing, but let your doing be infused by your being. For while you are in the world, the body-mind will do. Its very nature is action and activity itself, just like it is the nature of a leaf in autumn to fall from a tree to the ground. Would you say, "Oh, well, that shouldn't have happened. That leaf shouldn't have had to die. It shouldn't have had to change color. Oh, what's wrong with this universe?" You are like a leaf on a tree, and you are already falling in the moment of your death. How much more time will you waste before you decide to break through the chains of fear held in the very tissue of the body-mind? How much longer will you wait to enjoy the dance of the fall from the branch of the birth to the ground of death of the body-mind in order to experience the total freedom of the fall? For the great fall from grace, the great dream of separation must finally be embraced and lived with perfect love, obstructing nothing, knowing that the very momentary experience of the body-mind in a perfectly insane world is all right because it is illusion. To resist illusion is to insist that the illusion is real. It is only in the full embrace of the illusion that the illusion dissolves before your eyes. Love sets all things free again. Over the next 30 days, do only this. Dedicate and commit each moment of each day to teaching only love. Take upon yourself the commitment to discipline the mind and the heart, while opening the body without obstruction. In each moment, set all beings free by being only committed to love. See how much joy you can experience by being the lover of all life. Want nothing from no one, need nothing from anyone. Express your passion, express your longing. Look upon the falling leaves, if they are happening in your neighborhood, wherever you are. Look upon all things and decide to love the hell out of it, for the hell in it is only what you have projected upon it. Take back your projection and embrace it with love. For 30 days you can do it. For 30 days, such a small time frame in one human life. Would you not give yourself permission for 30 days? This is not a difficult assignment. Anyone with any degree of intelligence and maturity can surely decide each morning for one day to teach only love and string 30 of them together. If it is in truth the transformation of your soul that you seek, so that only Christ is present where you are, complete this one assignment, and when it is done, simply do it again, again and again, worlds without end. Heaven awaits you. Love waits on your welcome. Yet that welcome is but the decision to finally embrace yourself and to live the truth that has already set you free. Love and give all things complete freedom to be and to do as they will, for there is no other doorway to the perfect freedom that you have sought for, such a long, long time. Let time end, that eternity might be remembered. Only love can set you free. And indeed with that, beloved friends, peace be unto you always, for indeed it is dripping through the ethers of your very atmosphere, waiting for you to drink it in. Peace be with you always. Amen.